Hey everybody, it's Mike from Here the Watchmen, and we're coming at you remotely. We're not in our studio right now. We have Mr. Brian Krogman with us today, who is in Virginia at the gun rally. And we're going to talk about the truth, what's really going on there, not the stuff that mainstream media is spewing out, saying that there's a bunch of crazies with bulletproof vests and AR-15s out there. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, Mike.
Brian, I want to know what's happening there.
Well, the rally is broken up. It actually broke up a little earlier than I expected it would have, probably around 12:45, 1 o'clock, when the people who had entered the inner zone, I guess if you will, were done speaking. So interestingly enough, apparently Democrats now believe in border fences between them and the American public because they had, 12-foot high chain link cyclone fencing put up to keep them from the general public, I guess.
Well, Brian, you're a member of the Oath Keepers, you're a veteran, you're a former police officer. What is your read on this? Because taking the Second Amendment away from us, it starts just one state at a time. And, the Second Amendment was put into place by our founding fathers to protect us from a government gone askew. What do you see?
Absolutely, Mike. I agree the Second Amendment was written to protect the citizens from a tyrannical government or an overreaching government, which I think is what we're clearly seeing here in Virginia today. The entire election here in Virginia was financed by Bloomberg. And they've managed to install these, some of them go so far in Virginia as calling themselves democratic socialists. They don't even make an attempt to hide their socialist or communist agenda anymore. And then, while people may choose not to own firearms or hunt or shoot recreationally, once the Second Amendment goes, you can best bet that the rest of them are going to fall very shortly after.
Well, I agree with you, Brian. And, you're there with some Oath Keepers. What if the governor there in Virginia says, hey, you guys got to all go out and take the guns away from everybody? How many police officers and military would actually take that order?
Mike, if you had asked me on Sunday, I would have told you, 5 or 6 of them. If you asked me this afternoon, I would say there'd be quite a few of them. Several state troopers were where we were at. There was a sloping ground, so the Capitol came down, and then probably about a 10-foot 8-foot brick fence that, kind of came down to the street level where we were. And the state troopers just stood up there with their arms crossed and just stared down at us with, some of them just had looks of utter disdain on their face. And actually, I can send you the photographs when we get off the phone. But there were sniper positions where the snipers were actually using their scopes to glass or observe the crowd, as opposed to using spotting scopes. They were actually staring down the telescopic sniper scopes attached to their 50 caliber rifles. And unfortunately, what they were staring at was a peaceful, law-abiding First Amendment assembly. And it's, to me, it was kind of frightening that there were cops willing to lay up there behind a 50 caliber rifle and do that.
Yeah, let's look at it this way, Brian. If Virginia falls and they succeed in trying to take everyone's guns away, it starts something that we don't want to have. You look at those socialist regimes and the communist regimes around the world, and you realize that you can vote your way into socialism, but you have to shoot your way out of it. And
yeah, that's absolutely right, Mike. And I'm pretty sure that after the Second Amendment, after they go for the guns, they're going to go for our God next, because that's going to be a big way of suppressing the population and just breaking their spirit.
Yeah, and what is the overwhelming, how do I want to say this, sense of the Oath Keepers involved in this? What do you guys think we really need to do?
Well, I think number one, it starts with turning out and voting. It was interesting, but there were, chants of, I don't know, something along the lines of no blackface Northam, vote him out of office. But the problem is, these same folks didn't turn out in sufficient numbers not to put him in office in the first place. So I think as we come into this election cycle, we've got to remember that we have got to get out there and vote. Because as we saw in 2016, I mean, it literally came down to a handful of votes when you consider the population of the country. We've got to get out there and vote for the candidates that are going to protect our rights.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Apathy is what will kill us all. I mean, not getting out to vote, not letting your voice be heard. That's what will kill us. But what's interesting is how reverent the liberals are about trying to take away our guns. I mean, you and I both know the only thing that stands between a bad person with a gun and a victim is a good person with a gun. You look at the shooting at the church in Texas, where they had armed people in the church and they took the guy down. I mean, so why are we as a country so afraid to protect ourselves?
Mike, I don't think we are as a country. In fact, from Sutherland Springs, Texas, the gentleman Stephen Williford, who's I count as a good friend of mine, and we talk often and at length, was one of the speakers today on the steps of the Capitol. I don't think it's the entire country that wants to do away with our Second Amendment rights or any other ones. But the problem is you have these enclaves of people. Like Virginia is, the vast majority of counties are Republican, but you have Northern Virginia, Fairfax, Prince William, and I believe there's a Stafford County just south of that. You have the Richmond area and you have the Tidewater area that are all far left leaning. And those are the ones that are able to put out sufficient numbers because of their population, much like the situation with the Democrats wanting to do away with the Electoral College. They were able to put out the votes to get these left-leaning people in office in the first place.
Well, Brian, we see in history, Hitler took the guns away from everyone. How'd that work out? You look at Vietnam, and you look at all this stuff and you see what happens when governments try to control the people rather than people trying to control the government. Now, in Virginia today, because, like I told you earlier, all we're seeing on mainstream media is reporting of a bunch of crazies with AR-15s and bulletproof vests and all that stuff. What did you really see out there on the streets?
Mike, what I saw, sure, there were people with their AR-15s and their AK-47s, and, I saw guys with deer rifles and, duck hunting shotguns, and, people had bulletproof, plate carriers or vests on, but what they forget to tell you in the media is these weren't heavily armed protesters taking over downtown Richmond as they would have you believe. These guys were here 100% legally. There is no law in Virginia or Richmond against carrying a rifle in public. And the same holds true in many, many, many other states in this country. They were doing absolutely nothing wrong. Mike, I saw Hispanic people, black people, white people. I saw Oriental people. I saw Native Americans. I saw Hindu gentlemen. And Mike, the thing is we're all sitting there shaking hands. We're talking to each other. We're trading, phone numbers and sending Facebook friend requests because we're literally making new friends out there. And what impressed me really the most is at the end of the rally, they literally passed out huge rolls of black trash bags. And everybody just started picking up, they were handing out bright orange Gun Save Lives stickers. The people were putting them on their hats and coats and things. Well, as these things do, a lot of them fell off and were stuck on the pavement and everything. But guys were out there picking these stickers up, any water bottles that had fallen. Heck, guys were picking cigarette butts up out of the gutter. That's how Republicans, that's how the right holds a rally. We don't go out and spray paint churches and schools like I saw in Berkeley. We don't break windows. We don't set police cars on fire. It's simply not us. There were 0 arrests and 0 incidents, according to the Virginia State Police and the Richmond Capitol Police today. There were a handful of medical emergencies where the crowd simply parted like it was the Red Seas, allowed paramedics to come in, and they were able to take people to a hospital in, a very short order of time, considering there were 25,000 people in the streets.
Well, it's interesting. You guys, the Oath Keepers, people tend to think you're all a bunch of hard-charging, veterans who are out there and all you're about is guns, but you guys go down and you help out in disasters. You were huge in the hurricane down in Houston, and people need to know that. Now listen, folks, Brian is truly, I've known Brian now for like 5 years. Brian is truly a warrior, and we need more remnant warriors like him out there. We need our voices to be heard. Which is why if you come to Dallas, just go to hearthewatchman.com. We're doing a training there. Brian will be there. We're doing a training there on how you can equip yourself to deal with what's coming down. And look, Virginia's just the first stop. Next will be California. And these guys are out there. Brian, how do people find out about the Oath Keepers and how to help you guys out?
Mike, they can go directly to our website at oathkeepers.org. They can sign up for membership. If you're not military or a veteran, you can sign up as an auxiliary member. You can donate to help out. We do nationwide travel. In fact, we have Oath Keepers that are on the road almost constantly. They literally live out of suitcases, going from place to place, just helping communities, setting up community emergency response teams for disaster relief and things like that. So we, frankly, we always need donations. We're manpower rich and we're cash poor. So the more donations, the more outreach we can do to, help people learn to take care of themselves, because that's really what it's all about. VIMEO or any other government agencies, we've seen time and again, isn't coming to help you. Hope is not a good plan. Quite frankly, you've got nobody but yourself to rely on, or a small group of your neighbors, the people in your towns or your villages or counties. These are the people you can rely on, not FEMA. And that's what we're trying, that's the word we're trying to get out. And communities that need help or want help, with forming a community emergency response team, we try to get to them as soon as possible and provide that instruction.
Well, amen to you guys for what you're doing. Folks, again, it's oathkeepers.org. Go out there, check them out, see what they're doing, because they're standing up for your constitutional rights. And I got to say, anytime a government, be it your local government or your state government, tries to take away your rights guaranteed under the Constitution, it's a problem. And the only way to stop that problem is for all of us to stand up and say, we're not going to take that anymore. So, Brian, listen, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at Hear the Watchman in Dallas. And God bless you and all the Oath Keepers for standing out there in front and defending all of us.
Well, thank you, Mike, and I hope Dallas is another sellout event for you. I've been with you for 5 years at these events, and I absolutely can't wait to, see you again in March. As well as, one of the, I think your parishioners, for lack of a better term, have, they recognize me, they know me, and I always enjoy, meeting them and rekindling old friendships while I'm there. So I hope that, certainly Hear the Watchman in Dallas is absolutely full to capacity as it usually is.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And folks, use the promo code Mike20. Save yourself $20 on the general admission. We have a super saver package up on there. We'll save you like $100 on your hotel room and everything else. So get on there. The most important thing is get there, be informed, and be ready for what's to come. Again, Brian, thank you for taking time out of your day.
Thank you, Mike. And I'd just like to say one thing. Remember, Bloomberg funded this whole charade in Virginia, and he's now running for president. So don't think this is isolated to Virginia. It's coming to a state or county or town or city near you in a matter of time. So better be ready for it.
Amen, brother. And listen, folks, as we always say here on the Watchman's Report, there's nothing you can't do with Jesus in your heart, except nothing at all. Get out there, make your voice heard, make a difference, be a part of the solution, not the problem. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you next time here on the Watchman's Report.